What would your finishing move be?
In boxing?
Yeah.
Probably get knocked the fuck out.
Oh.
Few boxers in history are noted to have been as terrifying to face in the ring as the walking ball of muscle and anger that was Mike Tyson. Capable of felling even the stoutest men with just a few blows, Mike Tyson was noted as being so scary and so intimidating, he didn't even need to throw a punch to get somebody on the ropes.
I mean, when I think of Mike Tyson, I just think of just brute power.
Yeah, people think of just like bone-crunching haymakers and just like jaw-shattering power behind like, single, just round-ending knockout blows. But in his prime, he was actually noted as being quite a technical fighter who was able to pick apart somebody's weakness and then exploit that for his own gain. Quite luckily for Mike Tyson, a lot of the weaknesses his opponents had were being knocked the fuck out, and he happened to possess one of the strongest hooks in boxing, so that worked out quite well for him. But yeah, if you watch some of his earlier fights, he wasn't just walking up and knocking people the fuck out, he was so fast on his feet, because obviously he's quite a short guy.
Yeah.
All things considered, like, a heavyweight, but he was stocky and he was wide, and he was just he had this almost impenetrable guard you could not get past. Not to mention, he was really, really fast. And I want to talk about something now, because like yourself, prior to researching that, I thought Mike Tyson was this fucking just unit of a man who knocked people out, but he was super fast, super technical. He could also do the Dempsey Roll.
Oh, God.
And people don't know what I'm talking about. There's this show out there called ippo, and it's all about a literal big dick boxer man called Ippo who just wants to become the world champion boxer. And his thing is that he's got the hardest punch in the world, but he's not that great. And he learned something called the Dempsey Roll, which is my favourite fucking thing in anime because it's so dumb. And are you familiar with this show at all?
No, not the show, but I think, I know what a Dempsey Roll is.
Yeah, because I showed you the clip before we did this. And the Dempsey Roll is, he rocks from side to side at Mach 3 and then just throws haymaker after haymaker after haymaker. The idea being you put your entire body into the swing each and every time. It's like 1, 2, 1, 2. And I thought, that's so dumb, that's so anime, I love it. And then I watched the film Ip Man 3, where Mike Tyson's in it, and then he does a Dempsey Roll against Donnie Yen. What? That's a real thing, and Mike Tyson could do it? Because Donnie Yen's there, oh yeah, bring it, I'm Ip Man. And just Mike Tyson just puts his hands together and goes, okay. What would you do? What would you do? This ginormous, huge, just hulking mountain of a man locks his hands together, crouches down, and then starts vibrating violently from side to side while throwing punches.
So he's got power, he's got technique.
Yeah, in his prime, yeah. Because I think later in his career, he just mostly relied on his power because it's fucking Mike Tyson. What are you going to do? He could just crumble anyone's defense, but...
I mean, it's just a presence about him. There's like an aura.
Yeah, and this is the lesser-known power of Mike Tyson. What we want to talk about today is his aura of intimidation, which sounds like something we're making up, and it sounds anime as fuck. No, it's absolutely real, and we're going to discuss how he utilised it in combat. But before we discuss that, let's just discuss auras of power. And who, from fiction, gives off your favourite aura of power?
I think if we went in the wrestling ring, it'd be The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Because whenever The Undertaker comes out, and it's the gong, and then he appears, it's just like, oh shit.
So, is there a better gimmick in wrestling than The Undertaker appearing in the ring behind the person? Yeah. But I always like to think that's really cool when you're a kid, but when you get older and you think about how they set that up, and it's just The Undertaker just lying under the ring the entire time, presumably on his phone, just waiting for his cue to come out.
Yeah, I do like the idea of before the doors open, right, under you go.
Yeah, you just
here's some food, here's a bucket if you need a piss.
And just under there. But I love that. When the Undertaker comes in, people just shit themselves.
Yeah.
I do like that. And I think mine's going to have to be something just as fictional and something just as stupid. And it's Jiren in Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
If we keep talking about Jiren, but I want to talk about him because he's so stupid. When he's just sat in the middle meditating like this. And someone's like, oh man, a guy meditating, I could beat him up. And he goes near him and goes, wait a minute. What's that glowing red power aura? And he goes, no, I'm not going to fight this dude.
What just happened?
But, to bring it back to Tyson, the value of intimidation in regards to boxing cannot be understated. And Mike Tyson was a master of this because he was well aware of how scary he was to face. And nothing proves this more than when he's fighting a man called Michael Spinks.
Right, so he's got a scrap with Spinks.
Yes.
What happened? What was the intimidation?
Well, the intimidation actually was inadvertent because it was like a reversal of Michael Spinks' attempt to intimidate Tyson. Because what happened was, Spinks' manager, prior to the bout taking place, called a referee and an official over and said, "Oh, there's a bump in Tyson's like wrappings." And Tyson's like, "No, there's not." And "No, there is. You need to rewrap your hands," which like takes fucking ages. And then if you got it officially, they have to like unwrap your hands. You have to go wash them. Then you have to put all the wrappings back on. And bear in mind, Mike Tyson's ready to fight now.
Yeah,
and they
he's in the zone.
Yeah, and they thought, well, this will unnerve Tyson. It'll get him off his game a little bit. It didn't. He just pissed Tyson off. And when he was told, go back to your changing rooms, we'll send an official in, rewrap your hands, he paced backwards and forwards while they were having like a press conference outside, talking about the bump in the wrappings. And out of frustration, he punched a hole through the wall of his dressing room with enough force that people outside in the hallway, including Michael Spinks, heard it. And you might be thinking, that alone is pretty scary, but the intimidation didn't stop there. Because Mike Tyson, again, well aware of how scary he was, had specifically chosen to forego regular ring music and instead had hired a musician to compose the most intimidating piece of music he could think of, which ended up just being this bizarre mishmash of loud industrial sounds as Mike Tyson walked to the ring, visibly like dripping with sweat from his anger workout. So just think about how scary that is. It's like, is he listening to me? No, he comes out to the sound of clanging metal, like Silent Hill is happening in the background, just like striding towards the ring, like a fucking JoJo villain or some shit.
Because Spinks is a good fighter. I think
he was undefeated at the time. Yeah. We should point that out. Spinks wasn't like, some, nobody. He was undefeated heavyweight champion when he was going to face Tyson.
I'd be absolutely terrified if I'd found out that he punched a hole in brick in concrete and then he's storming out to the ring.
With just like the most terrifying sound in the world playing, like blaring through all the speakers at max volume. And Spinks was afraid, and you can tell that because you can look at a picture of Spinks in the ring when they were doing the fight announcements. You can see he's visibly shitting himself because he's like, "What have I gotten myself into? I have to fight this man. This man is going to kill me. He's going to weave my face into the canvas. What do I do?"
It reminds me that there's a current boxer called Gennady Golovkin, or GGG as it's called, and he became like a challenger for a title. And the title holder said, "I'm not fighting him. He can have the belt."
No, that's amazing.
Yeah, because Golovkin is literally like a beast.
Right, there's just so many layers here, and they're all amazing. But it reminds me of the film. You've seen Warrior? That's all?
No, I've seen The Warriors.
No, it's Warrior with Tom Hardy, and the plot is he's like a former soldier turned UFC fighter, and he becomes a UFC fighter to try and raise money for like a guy who fell in battle with him. And his backstory is, because you don't find it out till about halfway through the movie, because he doesn't tell anyone who he is. He just enters and kicks the shit out of everybody. And he has no ring music, no trainer. He doesn't turn to any press events. He walks into the ring with no music, beats the person up in 30 seconds and walks back out. And it was like, who the fuck is this guy? And they find out, he's a war hero who tore the door off a tank to save somebody. And they was like, why would I fight this man? Because they say, you've got to fight a guy who's beaten every other opponent in 30 seconds and ripped the door off a tank.
I wouldn't want to do that.
Exactly, it's so intimidating. But the end of this story is that Mike Tyson beat Michael Spinks in about a minute and became the world heavyweight champion. Because of course he fucking did. So we've talked about real boxing, which I'm not too familiar with, but I am familiar with fictional boxing. So let's move to perhaps the greatest fictional boxing series of all time. That's the Rocky films. And where do you stand on the Rocky films? I
like them, but I'm a boxing fan, and there's no defence. They literally just stand there, willingly getting clouted in the head.
Yes.
When in boxing, they actually try and stop.
Well, that is the technique favoured by Rocky Balboa, because I like the idea. Have you ever obviously I do a lot of research, and if you go at the Wikipedia page for boxing, and you go to the section a chin, if I remember this correctly. So obviously chin in boxing just means your ability to take a punch.
Yeah.
They say that it is epitomised by Rocky Balboa, and it fucking is, because he just takes every punch to the face and just keeps going. And I love in those films where they acknowledge that Rocky's a shit boxer. I think it's Balboa, where he fights like the heavyweight champion. He's like 60 years old. He says, "You've got arthritis in all your limbs, you're slow as shit, you're old, you've got no stamina, but we can win with just sheer fucking horsepower." So all they do is just make him train punching power, and that's all he does.
Yeah.
Just Rocky just min-maxes into defense and attack, and just like, you know, he's like in Dark Souls. He's got all the heaviest armor and weapons on. He just slow fat rolling across the ring to defeat this man.
He just kind of reminds me of The Simpsons when Homer decides, I'm going to be a boxing champion.
And he just has like the ability to, like, you're not very good, but you do have, like, basically, what is it? A weird medical condition that gives you basically a football helmet inside your skull, so no one can knock you out.
I mean, it's kind of part real, but it's in a film.
Okay.
And it's in Jackass film when Johnny Knoxville gets into a fight with someone called Butterbean.
Oh, he fights, but that guy's insane.
That guy's just literally a tank.
He's just so fat.
And I just love the fact that when he knocks Knoxville out, he just sits on the floor, unconscious, snoring.
Yeah, and he said, "Oh, is Butterbean okay?"
Yeah,
so good.
It wakes up. He's got blood pouring out his head. Is Butterbean okay?
It's just that one as well where Butterbean stands there and goes, "Go on, you get one free punch," and just lets him punch him. Is Butterbean the first man in history to have super armor on his attacks? I think so. So he just goes through that.
I just love the fact he turned to UFC as well. He started like doing mixed martial arts.
Fucking hell. Oh, man, I love those. So have you ever seen that video of, it's probably a famous one online, but I think it's like Yarborough? He's like a sumo wrestler. He's an American. He was like the heaviest professional athlete, and he was a sumo wrestler with like 700 pounds.
Yeah.
And he would win all his fights in pride by just falling over and landing on people because he weighed like 700 pounds. If he landed on you, the fuck are you going to do?
Yeah.
You can't lift up 700 pounds of man. And that's how he'd win his fights. It's like, yes, that is it. That is the truest martial art of all. Just slowly falling over.
Touching back on wrestling, the idea that Floyd Mayweather can beat the Big Show.
Can he?
Yeah, they had a match at WrestleMania.
No.
Yeah, Big Show's 7 foot odd and 400 pound at a time against Floyd Mayweather's like 5'4".
See, that's like when they used to have Andre the Giant lose.
Yeah.
It's like, really? Andre the Giant? Did you ever hear about that fight Andre the Giant had where he got drunk?
Which one? There was loads.
There was a famous, so people know there was a famous story about Andre the Giant once where he was supposed to lose a fight, but one, he was drunk, and two, the guy he was fighting was being a dick. So what he did is he just said, I'm not going down. I'm going to be Andre the Giant. So he's like nearly 8 feet tall.
Yeah, 7.5 foot, something like that.
Like 400 fucking pounds. Yeah, okay. And the entire fight is just the guy kicking his legs as Andre the Giant laughs. Like, he's like going to hurt Andre the fucking Giant. He just like pushes the guy over, and he's supposed to win. It's like, what the fuck? And that's what I just like the idea that someone that massive, of course he's going to win every fight. So how do you hurt him? So I want to see the Mountain do like UFC, that guy.
Oh, yeah,
what the fuck would you even do to him? It doesn't matter if you go, oh yeah, I can get him in an ankle lock. So, okay, you grab that ankle. If he grabs you, he can crush your fucking head. Oh, man. That guy enters UFC. He's like the first man in UFC to tear someone's head off their shoulders and win. So the first man to perform a fatality in UFC.